What is going on, fellow commanders of Caw? My name is Dan,
I'm Chris.
and this week on Commanding Caws, we're going to go back and look at all of our predictions that we made over the past several months regarding the 2023 NFL season.
So, like Dan was saying, we're going back to do a little bit of revisioning to our plan that we already had established. But with that being said, these are predictions once again. They're nothing to live by, just our personal opinions. And if you have some, make sure to put them down in the comment section and we'll talk and have a nice discussion down there.
Absolutely, these are just our opinions, but at the end of this video, we're going to have a playoff picture.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the comparison is of what it looks like now compared to what it is at the end of it. That'll be pretty interesting.
But first, here's a video. All right, so first off, we're going to do a recap, kind of show what our rankings are in the AFC and the NFC for the playoffs right now, and then we're going to go through the divisions, see any changes, make them as we see fit, and then we'll kind of revisit this at the end of the video.
Yes, and with that being said, let's start off with the AFC because I think that'll be the most interesting.
So, okay. We've said it for weeks now. Chiefs are going to be number one seed. They're going to get a perfect season. We will talk about that here in a moment. And then I think an even spicier take that some people are getting really heated on is we're going to have the Dolphins second seed go 14-3.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of fans that didn't really like that too much. My nephew actually commented on one of the videos as well, but he didn't say anything negative about it. He just said the Patriots aren't beating the Bills.
Well, who's to say he's wrong?
I agree. You never know.
Then we got the Jags and the Ravens, both 13-4, but the Jags beat the Ravens in the regular season currently, which makes them 3 and Ravens 4.
Yep.
Now for our wild cards, what do we got, Chris?
We got the Jets and Bills coming out of the AFC East. I think they're going to be in a very competitive division. I could also see their records completely flip-flopping there, one being 13-4 and the other one being 11-6. So we'll have to see how that ends up coming out in the end. And ending it, we have another AFC North foe, which is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Which I did want to talk about Joe Burrow here in a little bit, but interesting how they were almost the number one seed last year, and now they're going to be number 7, according to this. Interesting how last year they were almost the number 1 seed, and now we have them as being in the 7th seed.
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out once the season starts, and we are close.
I think, preseason, more games tomorrow night. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right, but going over to the NFC, who do we got leading the pack there, Chris?
We got the Eagles coming in first with 14-3 record. I 100% stand by this. I think they're an amazing squad, and I think they can do good this year.
One of two things are going to happen with the Eagles this year. Either they're going to make the Super Bowl again, or they're going to fall flat on their face. We'll see what happens.
I'm sure you wouldn't mind them falling flat on their face being an NFC East fan yourself.
Well, apparently I'm a hatter. We have the Seahawks going 11-6. Which
another competitive division there.
Yeah, maybe we're going a little low on the 49ers, but we'll come to them here in a second. We got the Lions going 3rd at 10-7, and then the Saints at 10-7, but we have the Lions beating the Saints in the regular season, correct?
Yep.
Another spicy take, Commanders going 10-7, going wild card. The 49ers going 9-8, and then the Vikings rounding out going 9-8 as well.
Even if the way that this is placed finishes up like a little bit different, and we have certain teams ahead of others, I'm very confident in this ranking when it comes to the teams going to the playoffs.
I agree. I think we have the teams right, just maybe not the rankings.
Which I can 100% see. Which, hey, once we get to the regular season, we'll have to see how it goes.
And let's just take a second. How does this compare to the playoffs from last year? So of the teams last year that made it into the postseason, Baltimore and Cincinnati are back. Miami and Buffalo are back. The Chargers are not making another appearance. Sorry, LA fans. Jacksonville's back, and so is Kansas City. So 6 out of 7 from last year, with the only difference being the Jets.
And with the competitive AFC in general, it's going to be really hard for those wild card spots, who's all going to be getting into it and stuff like that. So I could see the Chargers clawing their way into it, but I personally think the Jets are going to replace them this year.
I think you're right. I'm not trying to be a hater. It's just the way I think things are going to play out. And then going to the NFC, so we do not have Dallas or Tampa Bay coming back.
They're starting to fall flat on Tampa, it looks like, because I guess with Tennessee picking up DeAndre Hopkins, people are starting to be like, now about them. So we'll have to see how Tampa Bay ends up doing. They might have the most revisions out of all of us. Who knows?
But then Seattle and San Francisco are coming back. The Giants are not coming back. Although they did re-sign Saquon for a year, so that might be make or break. We'll talk about that.
Yep.
Minnesota, they're coming back. I don't know if they're going to make it past this round again, but just saying. Then, yeah, San Francisco and Philadelphia. So that's what, like 5? No. That's 4 out of 7 from last year.
Yeah, which isn't as bad either because we have a lot of the teams that were good last year, and the Lions could have made it if it wasn't for the Seahawks.
Now, Dallas, a lot of people are saying that they've gotten better this year. I also think that Washington's getting better, so.
And I can't wait to see how Deuce Vaughn does this year because apparently he's been tearing it up in the training camp for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, has Ezekiel Elliott even found a team yet? I don't think it's been announced.
Nope, or Dalvin Cook.
Interesting. All right, so starting right off, we're going to go way back to the beginning to the AFC North. Not many revisions that I can think of here.
No, not many I can think of as well.
I don't see the Bengals sweeping the Ravens. They could sweep the Steelers, but I think the Steelers are also pretty good. I think this is a division where I'm pretty happy with what we have, except maybe the Steelers beat the Packers and the Patriots.
Yeah, I kind of just picked the Patriots to beat the Steelers just because of years past of how everything has gone with that. But could be a different year for them. So
You want to go ahead and switch it? This is the time.
I think we switched that game for them.
Switch the Patriots? Okay. But the only other game that I really want to talk about here is the Packers. Do you feel like the Steelers could beat the Packers? Because we have them losing right now. And honestly, Jordan Love, Kenny Pickett.
You know what? I think you got me on this one. I think we actually do swing it back over for the Steelers to beat the Packers because they have a really good defense.
Okay. So that puts them then at 10-7 as well. But
That makes things a little spicy.
That ties them with the Browns. I think the Browns' losses are pretty safe. Do we think that the Ravens are going to sweep them still?
I do, but
Okay. Cool.
it's a little bit biased there, to be honest.
I mean, Nick Chubb is a great running back, but I think it really depends on Deshaun Watson and the coaching.
Yes.
But I'm cool with leaving it as is.
I 100% agree with that. So the next, we have the
Go.
NFC East.
Yes. Okay. So maybe I'm a little high on the Commanders, so I'm going to try to be fair here. But I mean, so okay, maybe they don't sweep the Cowboys. But that's really the only thing I can think of that I could see them changing. Really, I mean, 9-8.
I don't think the Cowboys are going to be that great of a team. They have a good defense, and that's kind of what's scary about them.
Well, the Commanders also. Apparently, from what I'm hearing out of training camps, that Eric Bieniemy is just like going hardcore in the coaching. I mean, how wonderful is it now that that's like one of our concerns? It's like, is he coaching them too hard?
Hey, you got to though. I mean, that's a rookie. I mean, he's not a rookie this year. It's a second-year quarterback, but we have to see how Sam Howell's going to end up doing.
Oh, and Scary Terry as well. I saw an article where apparently he was, or not an article, but like a post where he was getting really steamed at some of his teammates for just unsportsmanlike conduct and just kind of the way the defense was playing. Obviously, he's a wide receiver, but I guess from what he was seeing.
Yeah, wide receivers don't like to get hit, so that's possible that he's just not too happy with that.
So let's keep this as is. All right, but then the Cowboys. I'm pretty happy and confident with the losses. I don't know if we really changed anything here. Still going 8-9. Although they win against the Lions. I could see them losing against the Lions.
I could see him losing against. I think Dallas has a good defense, so I think some of these games could be a little interesting at first.
Well, think of it this way. Is the Lions' offense enough to overcome the Cowboys' defense? I think off the top of my head, the answer is yes, because you got Jared Goff, you got St. Brown, you got... Who's that new running back?
Yeah, they did get... I think it was Gibbs that they got.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, that sounds right. Oh, I personally think Dallas's defense is better than the Lions' offense.
Okay, then we'll leave this as is. Are the Eagles going to lose to more people then? We feel like maybe the Jets, maybe the Bills?
Those are still coin flips there. I'm pretty confident in the NFC East so far, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, I did just want to touch upon the Giants because are the Giants going to win more if Saquon's there? Because I guess when we made the original predictions, we were under the impression that he would be playing with them.
Yeah, we were under the impression that he would be playing with them. They have the NFC East in general has a very hard scheduling this year. Personally, think that everything's kind of going to play out the way that it looks so far. The Jets could. It really depends on how the Jets and Aaron Rodgers ends up playing. See if there's any regression there.
Okay. So not really any changes here then.
No, none that I can see.
All right. So there's a couple teams I want to talk about in the AFC West, particularly the Chiefs and the Broncos. Now, I'm not so confident about the Chiefs having a perfect season, but is it really that far-fetched?
I don't think it's that far fetched. We have the Chiefs going with all the. I don't think it's that far fetched because we have the Chiefs winning all these games. There's a couple games that I think will be kind of close. So when we say they're going to go and win everything, we don't mean that they're going to blow everyone out. There's going to be some tough games in here. The Lions will be a tough game. The Jaguars will be a tough game. Jets, Dolphins, Eagles, not really the Packers, Bills.
Now, keep in mind that Kansas City won the Super Bowl by a field goal, and they won the AFC Championship by a field goal. Both of those, well, the AFC Championship was that unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever hit out of bounds that the Bengals did. And say what you will about the sod father and that holding penalty. So who knows? Maybe they got lucky there, but they are talented.
They are. And that's why I could totally see them going 17-0. I think we keep them the same. There's a couple
Okay.
games that could be coin flips, and they could end up going like 13-4 or something like that. I don't see them going under 13-4. I think that's the floor for them.
And I am sorry, I did want to mention as well, I had a note here for the Bengals. Burrow's injury, it seems like he's going to be playing week 1, right?
And when it comes to Burrow's injury, we're kind of a week out from when we upload these videos. So currently where it sits at, I read an article over on CBS, and they're saying that it's going to be several weeks. A lot of people expect him to be able to go week 1, from what I understand.
I think he's a make or break with that team. They're very talented otherwise. But
yeah, no, I agree. But they would be in some water with not having their quarterback out there. He's going to break the bank when he gets paid.
Oh, yeah. I also wanted to talk about Tua with injuries when we talk about the AFC East, but we're talking about the AFC West. The other team I wanted to talk about was the Broncos because it seems like Sean Payton, again, we're filming this a week in advance of when we upload it, but at this time, Sean Payton is like, he seems like he's not taking anything. It seems like he's really trying to instill a culture of no BS, we're just in it to win it.
Yeah, he has a thing against bucket hats, which I think's really flippin' stupid, to be honest with you. I'm saying that the nicest way I can. He said that they're not allowed to wear them on the sideline. Like, bro, what is your problem with bucket hats?
Hey, Coach Klein did in Waterboy. What's going on with that?
Yeah, for real. I just don't understand that. I think
He must like Gatorade over water.
I think personally that he was talking to he did a lot of talking here recently and talking about the Jets, and then they clapped back a little bit. I don't think it's a good look. I don't think it's a good look at all for him personally. Because I mean, what did he do with Drew Brees? Let's be honest about it. One Super Bowl.
Yeah. So that then begs the question. Maybe. No, they get swept by the Chiefs. Chiefs get a perfect season. We have them losing to the Browns and the Chargers. Maybe those games could be wins.
I'm pretty confident in what we have for the Broncos. One thing I want to stress to anybody in the comments, though, because I noticed it on that video. I just don't talk. I don't really reply to the negative ones as much. I just leave them there. So we don't hate the Broncos like at all. I think you guys missed it when Dan said that it's his favorite team because of South Park. Like,
in the division, yes.
In that division. I have nothing against the Broncos themselves. I actually wish Russell Wilson would have done good because I like Russ.
Yeah. Well, and we had them going to the Super Bowl last year,
Yeah,
or at least I did at the beginning, at least making the championship.
yeah, I remember that, and I know you had them going to the playoffs and who you thought was going to do good and everything else. I thought they were going to make the playoffs too. I thought they were going to be a wild card because I thought the Chiefs were going to win it. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, got to be realistic, and this, even if it's not their year this year, maybe next year. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these teams just need to be rebuilt. It's a brand new coach. You can't put all of your eggs into one basket. You guys did that last year, saw what happened. Let them develop the team so that they can be good 2 to 3 years for 2 to 3 years.
Exactly. Don't be like what Dan Snyder was, where he just wanted to win now and just threw money at everything.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I feel bad for Broncos fans because it seems like maybe that's what the Walton family's doing. I don't know, but okay. So we have the Bucks winning against the Lions in week, what is it, 7? No, 5. Hold on. All right. So moving on to the NFC. All right, and moving on to the NFC South, we have the Bucks pretty much going winless until week like 6 or something like that, where they come back from a bye and they beat the Lions. However, I'm thinking we could change that. I feel like the Lions would beat the Bucks pretty easily.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Okay, I think we were just being nice to Tampa there.
I think we were too, but the Lions are a much better squad than the Buccaneers.
Yeah. We have them winning against the Falcons. I think the Falcons could beat the Bucks here too.
Not gonna lie to you guys, I'm actually saying that we keep that because of the Falcons fans that were upset in the comment section. But just messing with you guys. Falcons, yeah.
We'll have the Falcons sweep them.
Yeah, I could actually see that. I could see the Buccaneers getting swept by the Falcons, to be 100% honest.
Okay. And then, okay, so the Titans, we have the Bucks winning. I still stand by that. I want to talk about the Titans here when we talk about the AFC South, but I don't know if D-Hop's really going to make that much of a difference. I feel like it's a lot of clickbait. People just going, oh, are they actual contenders now? No. We haven't beaten the 49ers. I feel like we should go ahead and just change that. So, yeah. I still think they could beat the Titans and the Colts, but that puts them at 2-15.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. So which ones did we switch?
We switched the Lions, the 49ers, and the Falcons.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what we were on that day, but Buccaneers are going to have a little bit more opium.
Hopium.
Hopium.
Yeah. Or copium, yeah. But, all right, the Saints, yeah, no, nothing really there that I'm seeing that's very glaring.
Oh, I know what it was with the Buccaneers. I was pretty high on Baker Mayfield, but the more and more stuff that's coming out about how he's doing and everything, yeah, we can scratch that, guys.
All right, so then the Saints, I'm looking here. There's not really much that I could see changing. I feel pretty confident about that. Maybe the Texans could be more of a coin flip, but yeah, nothing here that's really making me go, what were we thinking?
Yeah, nothing like it was with the Buccaneers. I 100% agree with that.
Then we had our only tie with the Falcons and the Panthers week 1, but going to the Panthers here, again, the Texans and the Colts are going to be question marks, but I still think that they could pull that off. They lose to the Bears. Could see that. Yeah. Nothing.
I mean, they're 9-8 and 1, 9-7-1 now.
So you gotta rephrase that.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
7-9-1. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Panthers. I was thinking the Falcons. So we have the Panthers going 7-9-1, and then the Falcons going 9-7-1 now, with a little bit of changes that we have. And I'm still pretty confident in that because I think they're kind of equal teams.
Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. I mean, I think the most changes were made to the Bucks there. So
not for the good. We're sorry, Bucks fans.
All right, but let's go ahead then, because there's 2 teams in the AFC South I really want to talk about. Because again, D-Hop going to the Titans, I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference maker. I really don't.
I don't either. They might win 1 or 2 more of these games. We still have them losing to the Buccaneers. I
I think that they could lose. No, no, okay, hold on. If they're gonna win any games, I'm seeing maybe the second. Maybe they sweep the Texans. No, no, I don't think we change anything right now.
I don't think we do either because there's nothing really proven that they're going to be great next year, anyways. And they could just tear it up and end up battling the Jaguars for first in the division. That division's so weird, is what it is, because you have three teams that one of them that has 1 foot out the door and 1 foot in the door for a rebuild, which is the Titans. You have the Texans who are rebuilding completely and they could just be amazing this year. Same thing with the Colts. Something could happen. Speaking of the Colts on that as well, a lot of juicy drama coming with the Jim Irsay stuff, so that's pretty interesting to see. That's not a good look either.
I mean, I want Anthony Richardson to do well. I just think he's in a bad situation currently.
I 100% agree. Someone needs to take that man's Twitter away from him. But yeah, it's kind of strange because I could see these records all being flip flop, but I don't really see them all being good. I see maybe one of them lucking into a couple more wins and battling the Jaguars for the division, but the Jaguars are still the better
No.
team overall.
I was gonna say the Jags are taking the division. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
but,
and I 100% agree. They're just really good.
but going to the Jags schedule, the only thing I can really see is I could see them maybe losing to the 49ers and the Ravens.
I could see that. I personally think the Jaguars are going to upset Baltimore. It really depends on the way Baltimore comes out. That's kind of where I'm at with that.
This is late season as well.
Yeah,
So
both teams will be vying for trying to get a nice playoff positioning and playoff spot if they're not in it already. I could see it going either way. Same thing with the 49ers. I think
let's
we're a
leave
little.
it. That's fine.
I think the 49ers is the only thing I'd really change. Because, like,
You really think the 49ers could beat them and the Ravens couldn't? I mean, Lamar Jackson.
I've heard different stuff coming out of camp, so I don't know how I feel. A little bit of confidence drop in the Ravens based off of what I've heard in camp so far is the defense has been dominating, which it's a great defense, so that could be it right there. But I would think the offense should be doing pretty good. Zay Flowers has been tearing it up. I know that much as well. But the 49ers have that offense that's just it's like a hydra.
Okay.
You cut one head off and they grow like 12 more of them.
All right, go ahead and fix them the 49ers. That's cool. We can switch that.
I think we were a
But
little low on them personally.
then we have them going 12 and 5. Okay. Now the Cardinals going winless. I still stand by that because they're playing the NFC West twice, and then their other opponents are the NFC East, the AFC North, the NFC South. It looks like, and the NFC, a bunch of stuff here. But I still say that the Cardinals lose all those games. I don't want to be a hater there. It's just realistically though, because they're having Colt McCoy for at least the first half of the season,
Yeah.
and I also don't think that Kyler Murray. And I'm sorry, I don't think he's the guy that they're hoping that he's going to be.
No, and I 100% agree. He did take over in certain games last year where you could see it, where he was pretty good. He doesn't have D Hop anymore, and a D Hop on a team with Kyler makes a big difference versus a D
Oh,
Hop on a
absolutely.
team with Ryan Tannehill. That's just personal there. I think DeAndre Hopkins is a really good wide receiver, but quarterback play, big difference there.
I could see them going winless for Williams, and then I could see them picking up a wide receiver with their pick they got from the Texans.
Yeah, 100%. Then going over to the Seahawks, do we see them any changes here? I'm not seeing any.
No, no, I'm pretty confident in that. 11 and 6, but I want to see how the 49ers changes things up for the division. Because okay, so the Rams,
I could see one change for the Rams.
what's that?
The Browns.
I'm cool with that. So that we got to go back then and change the Browns. I'll do that real quick.
Gotcha. Which will make the Browns fall to like 9-6, 9-7, something like that.
It'd be 9 and 8.
9-8. Yeah, that's right. Extra
Yep.
game.
So they lose to the Rams. Okay, yeah, I mean that's fair.
It doesn't change much for the division at all. But then we have them going.
Rams will go
8 and
7
9.
and 10. Oh no, yeah, 8 and 9. Now the 49ers. Okay, Week 1 against the Steelers. I know we already went over the Steelers. I could still see maybe the 49ers are what are. I could still see this staying the same because it's week one. We don't know how this team's going to do necessarily. Let me rephrase that. But talking about the 49ers then, week one, we have them losing to the Steelers. I still think that that's possible because it's week one and stranger things have happened, as well as I feel like the cobwebs will be shaken off because they were shook up at the very end of last year with the NFC Championship.
They were. And one other thing to mention is, and to think about, Nick Bosa has been holding out, which they know and they're not fining him for or anything like that because they're trying to work out a contract. But let's say they don't have that contract built by week one. Is he going to continue not to play?
That's going to be a difference maker, but
Yeah.
we'll keep it as is for now. Other games though, losing to the Cowboys, beating the Browns, losing to the Bengals, I see it. Well, okay.
Jaguars could be a coin flip. I don't think there's anything that's substantial enough to change. Like nothing huge that I see glaring.
Yeah,
To
we
change
have them
over
going
theirs.
11 and 6 then as well.
Man, yeah, that's kind of how I can see the division going right there. And then whoever has
Well, let's
the
see what 'cause
tiebreaker.
don't they split?
Yep, they
Hold on.
split.
Okay, so I'm a little uninformed as to how the division is decided then.
So then it would go off of division wins if I remember correctly. So I think that's split as well, if I remember correctly. As well. So I think it'd come down to points or something like that, or a coin
Okay,
flip.
well, yeah. Okay, so then the AFC East, the Jets. Okay, before we talk about the Jets, I want to talk about the Dolphins.
Fair enough.
Healthy Tua. That's really the thing. And isn't there some stuff going on right now with Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, there's some stuff going on with Tyreek Hill. So Jalen Ramsey's going to be out until December. There's some stuff going on with Tyreek Hill.
Okay, so let's make some changes here.
Yeah, there's a couple teams I think they're going to end up falling flat and not being the division winner now because of that. Um,
I Let's give the Chargers some love. I say that the Dolphins will lose to the Chargers then week one.
I think the Dolphins could beat the Chargers week one.
Really?
Um,
Okay.
Mainly because, man, you might be right on that. Jalen Waddle's still a beast.
Well, Justin Herbert, I feel like
You
he
know
has
what?
proven himself a little bit
I
better
think
than
so.
Tua. Okay, let's switch that up then. And then I still think they could beat the Patriots. How about the Broncos?
No, I think the Broncos would still lose to the Dolphins here.
Okay. We have them splitting with the Bills, which I'm cool with.
Yep.
Winning against the Giants, the Panthers. I'd say they lose to the Eagles.
I say they lose to the Eagles as well. That's what I was thinking. That was the next game that I had highlighted.
Okay. Then I think they could sweep the Patriots, although apparently somebody thinks that we're like on something for that.
Yeah, we weren't saying that the Patriots are a peewee team. We're just saying that Patriots aren't as good as they used to be.
Yeah.
They're going right now. We have them going 2-15. So I mean, it's just one of those things where stuff changed. I mean, they don't really have that great of a squad. Look around in the division, see what's there. It's big difference.
Okay, so then what about the Raiders and the Commanders? Because I still think the Jets are going to win in week, what is that, 10 or 11?
Yeah, I believe so. I think they beat the Raiders still, and I think they still beat the Commanders. It's just a lot closer of a game, I think, in both of those. The next two that kind of pop up for me are the Cowboys and the Ravens.
Let's go back to Commanders just for a second.
Yep.
Again, healthy Tua. If Jalen Ramsey's back at this point and Tyreek Hill. Okay, yeah, never mind. We'll keep that as
Ramsey
a.
won't be back by that point, I don't think. That might be in December, actually. I don't know. Yeah, you could be
Well,
right on that.
yeah, late. That might be like the week after Thanksgiving, but yeah. Okay. And then Cowboys. I'm willing
Tough.
to. Okay, so I think the Ravens could beat them.
I think so as
But,
well. If there's the injury that's there, that Jalen Ramsey's not there, I think it'd make a big difference.
and additionally, is
Jalen Ramsey
Tua
should be
gonna.
back for that game, though.
I hate to be a broken record, but again, healthy Tua. Well, I mean, I honestly could see it if they lose to both the Cowboys and the Ravens. Can you really see them going 6-0 for the last part of the season?
If they had to, I could. If they need to win their games, because that's when they would start to heat up, would be around that time.
I do think the Titans are going to be a pretty easy win. The Jets might be tougher. I don't know if the Jets are going to sweep them though.
Yeah, we have the Jets and Bills splitting the series with them, like we were saying, and both those games could also be a coin flip. One of those teams could definitely sweep them, which is wild because the Bills are good enough to do it. Jets are also good enough on paper that we've
Because
seen to do it as well.
do we overhype the Jets or do we underhype the Bills? We're kind of all over the place. Let's stick with the Ravens for a second. I think the Ravens could beat them.
I
But
think the Ravens could
considering
beat
that
them.
they came back from that comeback, but considering they had that comeback last time we played, but this is in season, I think the Ravens could win this.
I think so too.
Okay, and now the Cowboys.
I think the Cowboys beat them also.
Okay. Do we want to have them fall to the Jets or the Bills in the last couple weeks?
What is their current record going to be at? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I think 10 wins is about right for them. 10-7.
Right, so 10-7. Okay. But I mean, that still might put them in the playoffs. Who knows? Because the Bills, yeah, nothing there. I really feel like we need to change. Although apparently we're wrong thinking that the Bills are going to lose to the Patriots at all.
I
And everyone
actually
should.
do. I am actually starting to agree with that. The more I think about it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be too upset if you want to make them 12-5 instead of 11-6.
Yeah, let's switch that. 12-5.
All right.
Yeah. So we'll fix the Patriots game because I actually do think that is one game that we may have just been kind of like about. But I mean, they could still go 11-6 though with that game against the Bengals, who we have them beating. So I mean,
Yeah. And the NFC North was the most recent one we did. I don't really know if we changed too much out of that. I mean, we have the Packers going 6-11. Do you really think that's going to happen?
yeah, I don't think they're going to be that great of a team.
We have the Lions losing to the Packers the first time, or well,
I think we just did it that way because they're playing at home, and I think that's we gave the Packers their first win.
okay. So I think those are our changes. I think we made like what 5-10, not that much.
Yeah, not too many changes. We'll see how it. I do think it's going to change up this playoff.
All right, everyone. So after much deliberation, here is our updated playoff picture. Chris, why don't you take over the AFC and tell us what's going on?
So for the AFC, we had a couple changes. We have the Chiefs still staying 17-0, so no changes there, of course. We have the Ravens moving to second with a 14-3 record, which I could definitely see. The Jets end up winning the AFC East with these changes and are the third seed, and the Jaguars are the fourth seed, 13-4.
Both have a record of 13-4. Yep.
Then you got the Bills getting the fifth seed with the couple changes we had there. The
12-5.
Bengals, yep, 12-5. The Bengals at 11-6, and then the Dolphins at 10-7. We also have the Steelers at 10-7, so it would depend on how the games go. I just went with the AFC wins and losses that each team had because that's who they're going against the most. And I think that's what matters when it comes to record. So we'll just keep it that way. But it could either be the Steelers or the Dolphins.
It could be. I remember that's kind of how it was last year too. It was going to be either the Dolphins or the Steelers or the. I can't remember what the other team was. But anyway. All right. So then going over to the NFC, we got the Eagles. We had them winning one more game, so going 15-2. Then we had a shakeup with the 49ers and the Seahawks. They're both going to go 11-6, but again, kind of just based on Chris's logic about, the Dolphins winning and going to the playoffs because of how many AFC teams they went against. We had this compared to the NFC teams, and the 49ers came out on top over that.
Yeah.
Then we had the Lions going number 3 and the Saints 4, both going 10-7.
Yep.
We got the Seahawks at 5 going 11-6. Don't you love how that works out? And then
Ew.
Commanders going 10-7. And then Vikings 9-8, so Commanders 6, Vikings 7.
Yeah, and I'm still pretty confident in all these teams. I think these are still all the teams that we had originally. I don't think any teams changed out of this.
I don't think so. No.
The
Well, wait.
closest that we had was the Steelers coming up to the AFC, and then the.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really changed too much for the Vikings.
Yeah. I think really what changed in terms of draft order is that the Titans, they didn't really do anything different. Now the Bucks are going to go 2-15.
Yep. And the
And
Patriots.
yeah. So there you go. I mean, the preseason really kicks into gear tomorrow. I mean, technically the season's already started because of the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
But
Any thoughts on the Hall of Fame game?
tried to watch it, but then they just kept cutting to commercials and they kept having interviews with the Hall of Fame people, which I get it, but it's like I watched like maybe 5 seconds of actual football, which was kind of annoying.
The only
But
thing I really got away from that was they have a quarterback, the Browns do, that everyone was raving about. He did really good though, but I always say this: it's preseason, going against guys that aren't. Some of these guys are going against people in the third quarter that aren't going to make teams. It could be different if they're going against first string players, but he showed a lot of promise.
yeah, and plus it was two teams that I didn't really, I mean, I'm just being honest here, didn't really care too much about. So,
No
but
team
again, I
from
wanted
the
to watch it
Hall
because I
of
was like, it's football, and then it just, I feel like I watched more commercials than anything. But yeah, preseason is going on, and who knows, maybe we'll do some predictions here.
Maybe
So,
we will. The fun fact I learned from, I can't remember who it was that I was watching, but they said that no team that has participated in a Hall of Fame game has made it to the playoffs or the Super Bowl.
and that tells me the Jets aren't actually going to be doing that
Oh
good,
no.
right? But anyway, thank you all for watching. This has been really fun kind of going through the divisions. We've seen a lot of increase in viewership and subscribers. So really thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. Love the discussion, even if you're a fan of an opposing team or if you just commented because you were upset. Hey, you're making your voice heard.
Yeah, and some of those heard voices is what led to some of these changes because we sat there and we're like, they might be right about that. Patriots Bills is the best example. I actually agree that the Bills should sweep the Patriots no matter what now. But
And
yeah.
But I will say, so maybe we won't do preseason week 2 of 4 just because we are filming this a week out and this is going to be out after this week. So uh, we're going to try to work on more of a quicker schedule now. But, we had a week off because of some health stuff going on. But no, it'll be fun to kind of tackle the season and, maybe make some shorter videos, but some reaction videos, some rankings and whatnot. So we really hope that you all enjoyed the series and stick around for some more.
And once again, guys, if you guys like the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe for more content, drop some comments in the comment section. Just let us know how right or wrong we are. Greatly appreciate every single one of your guys' support. And make sure you do indeed come back to laugh at our videos at the end of the season because we'll be right here laughing with you.
Absolutely. All right, so this is the end of the series. Let's go ahead and just give out a nice big. And I'm not going to oink. Anyway. All right. See you guys.
See ya.